Hello, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, President of Forge Wealth Management, and welcome to our Women in Wealth series. Today, I have a new friend with me, and can you tell us who you are, what you do, and what you love about what you do?
Oh, sure. So my name is Benedict. I'm the CEO and founder of Maverick Mindshare. And this is my influencer marketing agency. I started it 14 years ago before influencers were called influencers. They were called bloggers back then. We predate Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. And what I love about what we do, and I don't know how much we'll get into it, but really it's the connections with people. So it's helping our clients and the influencers we work with come together, work together, get the most out of those partnerships, and being able to help both sides of the equation, the people on both sides really be rock stars in their jobs.
Oh my God, it sounds like fun too. You're doing on the fun side of social media, even though I know it's a lot of work. You probably just make it look easy and fun. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So we started in the food and beverage space, which is just like you said, much of the world, much of the connections and networking can take place at events, at conferences. And so there's a lot of food and beverage. So we've had the chance to walk the show floor at Fresh Summit, which is the International Global Produce Association trade show. For years, we used to do that, which was fascinating because you'd see all kinds of produce that you don't necessarily see at your grocery stores, or it would be off season, and we'd get a behind the scenes peek at that. I just did Expo East in Philadelphia, which is a trade show for the natural products industry, and it's food, beverage, supplements. It can, cover a wide range of things. So the lifestyle area or niche that we're in really is fun and is a natural fit for what influencers are doing anyway. So yes, we're dialed in and have this refined process that we've honed over 14 years, but we do it because we love it. We're in the line of work that we're in because we love working with the influencers. We love working on these channels. We love being at the forefront, the cutting edge of technology. Like the newest thing, everybody's probably still talking about TikTok, but we're seeing AI is now coming in as the next channel or disruptor or challenge in our industry. So it is fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all in how you look at it, right? It can be a disruptor or it can help you. It just depends on your viewpoint and how
Keeping
you
your eyes
use
on
it
it.
to your advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trying to be strategic about it, trying to think outside the box and get a handle on it before it's just before we've missed the boat for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like a big rabbit hole, because there's good things about AI, and with everything, there's some challenges to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just your industry, in so many industries, and my industry as well. So I can only imagine, like, because we were just talking before we hit record that we were both just at industry type conferences, and we also had classes on AI. It's just like amazing, like what it can do for you, or how it could hurt people too, because there's some downside of some of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most fascinating presentations I've seen in the last 6 months was the sort of a tech update about AI, that if you see a video that is in one language, and I think YouTube now allows, you can dub, into a different language. AI is starting to be tweaked so that the person or the human being behind the original video, their lips will be, altered to look like they're speaking the dubbed over language. So
Whoa.
yeah, so no more, old style Bruce Lee videos where
Yeah.
they completely don't match. It will be seamless, and it will be our responsibility. This is to your point. That's really cool, but it's our responsibility to pay attention to what are we seeing? If
Yeah.
they can do that, what else can they do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because is that real? And yeah. And what else can they do? And that's the scary part. And you just showed your age by saying Bruce Lee.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Totally. Yeah, because that's what I remember. The dub does
Mhm.
not match the video or the film. And
Yeah.
that's actually the hallmark. Like that's why we like those movies in some
Yeah.
regard. So, where tech takes us will be really interesting, and where the pushback remains to be seen, where the pushback
Yeah.
will be.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. That is so cool. So what is the, like, tell us a little bit about like your type of clients. I know you said a lot of the food and naturals, and but where's your like sweet spot or your niche, I guess?
That's a great question. So we work with regional, national, and global brands. And the most success we have is probably with household names that you've heard of: Oreo, Hellmann's, Frigidaire, the produce industry, which is an interesting play because so often produce is commoditized. We think of apples, we think of bananas. We don't necessarily think of Chiquita and Dole, or even drilling down into varietals like Honeycrisp and Jazz apples and that kind of thing. So we really love products where influencers are going to, it's going to be a no-brainer for them to work with this product or this brand or this category. So in the lifestyle, but again, our sweet spot, always will be around food and agriculture.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely talking about Oreos. Oh my gosh, my mouth started watering.
It is a danger. We were on a call just this morning with a client who said they are willing to send product to the influencers who work on the program and or our team. And we were like, oh yes, please include us. We, even though we're not writing the content and we're not publishing the posts, we want to know what it tastes like. We want to learn about this stir fry kit, or we want to, we've worked in the past with New Mexico green chili, and that is a seasonal delicacy. I won't bore you with all the marketing behind it and the branding behind it, but they box and ship these beautiful chilies out to the influencers. And part of the experience is them unboxing this glorious, I don't know, 20-pound box of fresh produce that they then go on to roast and use in their recipes. So yeah, it's very sensory. It's very tactile. It's very, again, that's why we love food and beverage, because everybody eats. Everybody talks about food. Everybody has connections to food in their lives, their memories, their families, their social circles. So it's a really fun place to be. But we did find, and we have found, that food actually also connected us in our agency across lifestyle platforms. So into parenting, into wellness, into travel, into DIY. So we've actually expanded to work with brands. We were already working with brands across those categories. So we rebranded a few years ago to be able to really wrap our arms around all of the different lifestyle categories that food was bringing us into anyway, which is really fun.
Wow, that's really cool. And I will say I'm one of those geeks because I know exactly what a Honeycrisp apple is because I love them.
Oh yeah. Yes. And there was a new one. I'll start dropping brand name apples. Here we go. There's another one that came on the market a couple of years ago. And to your point about the work behind social media, when I say a new brand of apple came about, this is decades in the making.
Oh
right?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Animal husbandry, but it's not animals, it's plants and splicing and all of that. Not GMO. Let's be clear about that. It wasn't a GMO thing, but this Apple launch, it's called Cosmic Crisp. And I'm on the backside. I know the marketers, I know the developers, I know the campuses where this was developed and spliced. And so I've been watching the progression of this unveiling and launching of this apple. And finally, I think last Thanksgiving, I was traveling to see family and in the grocery store shopping for Thanksgiving. And there was the Cosmic Crisp apple. And I felt like I had just stumbled upon, the Holy Grail or some kind of treasure. And it was just an apple, but we grabbed a bunch of them. We took them home. We did a taste test. We had Honeycrisp. We had the Cosmic Crisp because it's a varietal that's based on a Honeycrisp. So keep an eye for that one too. It's fun.
I love the name too. Yeah. I'm gonna look for that when I go.
And the reason they named it, I think if I'm getting this right, the sort of modeling on the apple, the way that the red, the white dots come out on the red skin looks like a galaxy or looks like, the stars. So I think that's where the cosmic piece came in. And then the crisp they borrowed from Honeycrisp. I could be getting that part wrong, but it's just fun to see, again, like the products that we work with, we see them in real life. We adopt them into our own lives as the team who works on the campaign. So it's really fun.
Yeah, and it shows how much work actually goes into it because you're like, oh, they've been working on this for like 10 years. It's not just it just showed up. Right. It's a lot of work to get to that point.
Yes. And it's our job to make that part visible, right? To bring awareness to the brands through the influencer campaign of those types of details, like how it, in this case, what the progression was for this varietal to be born, or it could be the science and research behind a wellness product, or what you can expect a health and wellness product to do for you. Why would you pick that product? So it is about education. It is about marketing, so that it's not, all of these great aspects of any one brand can be open to the public and part of your decision-making process as you're shopping.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, if somebody wanted to learn more about you, your business, and what you guys are doing, where would they find more information?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. So the website is maverickmindshare.com. And then I am excited to say that I've just launched a personal/professional TikTok channel. So I'm at the Casey Benedict, both on TikTok and Instagram. And the TikTok is really fun, actually, because my daughters are helping me with it, which I recommend because they know what's up and I do not. So it's a great, speaking of me with my Bruce Lee, comments and callbacks, they are like dragging me into the 21st century and making sure that I'm not a total dork when well, actually, no, they pretty much make sure I am a dork when they edit my stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got a TikTok channel too, if people want to find me for more business. And then of course on LinkedIn, I'm Casey Benedict on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's great. All right. I have not gone into the TikTok arena, but I will follow you on the Instagram. I love that.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah,
so
it's
fun.
Yeah.
So let's shift the conversation a little bit and maybe share some of the challenges that you have faced as a professional woman.
Well, I'm sure that you've heard a lot of that kind of feedback if you've had other guests, like me, which is just oftentimes, I think it's about walking a fine line in business. I'm a solopreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a CEO. So I'm driving my business forward all the time. And at the same time, I'm a single mom and I have two girls, and I'm balancing that part of my life with the business part. And it's very, practical type of things, like saying that I just went to a conference and knowing that my daughter is home alone for those 4 days. So I don't want to spend too much time on the road, knowing that that's the case. So does that limit my ability to grow my business? So those are some really practical, I think, considerations that most women, most parents maybe even just go through. I think there's also one thing that I see out in my industry that I try to call out whenever I can is I go to a lot of marketing conferences, and by and large, the audience makeup is mostly young women. So I want to say young, like mid 20s to mid 30s, who are being sent to these conferences on behalf of their brands to collect learning, insight, new ideas, innovation, and they rightly so get super excited and full of ideas, take it back to their teams and stakeholders, and oftentimes don't have any influence or leverage to implement anything that they've just learned. So I kind of keep my eyes on that a lot to understand how to support those people in their roles, in their organizations, because I know it can be frustrating. I know it can be daunting, and they want to make an impact. They want to have influence inside their organization. So I think that's another place where being a woman in the workplace shines out to me, as there's a gap there that I'm curious and ever sort of ideating how to fill and how to fix.
That's fabulous. This is like mentoring the next set of ladies coming up the ladder, I guess you could say. And that's fantastic that you're looking out for them. That's great.
Yeah.
And that's probably great feedback to, like, if you know some people at those higher levels that are sending those younger ladies, that's great feedback for them.
Well, and my point to the event planners is every event, every conference that's designed around marketing, social media, digital, should have one session about how to take everything you're about to learn back to your organization and sell it in, right? Because that's not something we're taught, really.
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true. And you're going to be inundated with like 30 ideas. Well, you may only be able to like one or two, narrow it
Right.
down to the best one or two, and that's what you focus on so that you can have a win from it.
Right. You just started the course right there. You
Yeah.
just started the class because, right, the 101 is narrow it down, tip of the spear, what's going to get you most traction. Then once you get that buy-in and you get trust and whatnot, you can start tucking the other things into your strategic plan. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. So let's go in the time machine and talk about your vision of retirement.
That's a great question. I honestly, my kids actually ask me this a lot. They're like, Mom, is there ever a time that you won't work? And I think I'm really lucky in the sense that I've started and nurtured and grown a business that I love.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something of the opposite problem where I'm not quite adept at making a vacation because my work can go with me. I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great team, and my team often has to remind me, don't open your laptop, don't log in. We don't want to hear from you. So retirement for me, I think, is going to probably look much more like a blend or a balance of continuing to stay in the industry and maybe stepping out little by little, but not some hard and fast, one day I'm working and one day I'm not. I think it'll be, more of a graceful exit. And I can't ever see myself not having some continued connection and engagement and conversations with my peers because I just love it so much.
Yeah, it's not your grandma's retirement, right? That's kind of hard
Right.
for our group. That's kind of a lot of, I hear that a lot, which is refreshing because I cannot imagine not being part of something, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I'm glad I'm not the only one because I kind of felt
No, no, not at
saying
all.
all that.
Not at all. Not at all.
I thought you were going to take me in the time machine back to Bruce Lee. I'm glad we went the other.
Well, I mean, this is so funny because I was like, as soon as you said that, I saw the show in my head. It's just like, oh my God.
Right.
The younger generation may not get that, but we'll maybe find something on a rerun for them.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
TV Land,
great.
something.
Yeah, TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh goodness, we know that station too.
Yeah.
Well, Casey, thank you so much for joining me. This has been such a pleasure to have you here, and I'm glad that we were able to make today happen.
Yeah, me too. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. And thanks everyone else for listening. Again, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth. Our website is forgewealth.com. I'm on Facebook and YouTube at Forge Wealth and Insta at Forge Wealth Management and LinkedIn, Regina McCann-Hess. Thanks and have a great day.